Okay guys, welcome back. Right, so we covered the navigation. Now if you spent a good 10-15 minutes just playing around with that, you should be quite confident how to move around. You noticed in the last lesson I turned floor on. You can turn that off, but floor's quite good, at least at the start, to make sure that you're the right way around. Because if I've got floor turned off and I'm working on the model like this, I don't know where the floor is, and the floor's actually there. So you want to make sure your model's the right way around, so that's why I always flick that floor on. You've also got a button here that allows you to go into perspective mode as well, which is good when you're working with the models. You want to be used to turning these things on and off. So we've got the floor and we've got the perspective mode. Now we can also zoom in, and this is not zooming in like we press the Alt key, left mouse button, drag. This is actually zooming into the canvas itself here. And we've got a button here that puts it back to actual size. Yeah, so you're just zooming the canvas when you're using here. Don't get this confused. Again, people get confused and they think that it's zooming into the model. It's not. You need to zoom into the model. You need to hold the Alt key, left mouse button, release the Alt key and zoom in. All right. So that's an important aspect to look at. We've also got scroll here where you can actually move the canvas in the screen as well. It's just moving the canvas. It's not like pressing the Alt key and moving the model. All right, so that's for those. So you've covered that. And we've also got a half size here as well. This puts this down to half size, and this one puts it back to actual size. All right, so we've covered these 4 buttons here. I've shown you the perspective. I've shown you the floor. Now I want to show you, and I've shown you the poly frame down there that we can turn on and off. I'm going to leave that on at the moment because it's going to be beneficial for me to show you what's going to happen in initialize settings. So I'm going to turn the floor off now. Remember, we've not made this a polymesh 3D, so if I go to sculpt on it, you're going to get an error message. So the next thing we need to do is come down here on the right hand side. And also, by the way, did you notice when I created the tool, I've got loads of these extra things coming here? This is important because this relates to what you can do with the tool. So if I go into the initialize settings for this sphere, you're going to see that this will open up. Now for the different tools, you might have different settings in here, but pretty much they're the same. So if I take this H divide now and I start to divide it, look at the model. What we're doing is we're actually creating more subdivisions or more detail in the model. So if I take this down to say 8 and hit enter, and then I take the V slider and put 8, you'll see that we've now got this. So you can increase these or decrease these, and you can come right down to 3, and it gives you a kind of funny shape there. You could also bring this down. So these are the settings here. So you want to get these right first. So hit 8 on the keyboard, just clicking in here, pressing 8 and pressing enter. And now with it like this, what I can do is I can make this a polymesh 3D. Now as soon as I make this a polymesh 3D, I will no longer have these initialize settings. Now also inside of here, we also have a size scale. We can change this inside here. So you can squash it up in any of the X, Y, Z axis. And when I say X, Y, Z axis, you've got here Z, that's that blue one. You've got a red one there, which is the X, and then you've got one that's actually hidden behind here, and that is the Y axis, and that's green. Okay, so if you see those axes, you'll know what it means, and that's especially useful when you come into any of the move tools because you've got them there. X, Z or depth. X is horizontal and Y is vertical. Now we're going to go on to these bits later. I just wanted to show you that as a demo. So once you've set your initialize settings in here, and to be able to sculpt on it, look, if I try and sculpt, I'm still going to get that message come up. So when I'm happy with my initialize settings, let me turn the floor off, I can then go and make this a polymesh 3D. But like I said, this option then will disappear because you've finished initializing this primitive. So let's make it a polymesh 3D. Let's click that. Look now, the initialize settings have changed. They're not the same. Okay, so now what it gives us the ability to do is to start sculpting on this. Now this is a very low poly mesh, and when I mean poly mesh, I mean these are polygons. Okay, except these that are triangles. And this is our resolution of the mesh. You can see it's very low resolution, and it means we can't get any detail into this. So this is going to move us on to the brush palette and also subdividing our model up, which is what I'm going to cover in the next lesson. So before I move on, I'm just going to add another tool in here. I'm just going to go and grab like the cone, and we're going to go to initialize, and I just want to show you how you can sort of change this around. So you can take this down, make this into different, you could taper the top or spread the top out there. So you've got all these options to be able to add more details into this in an initialized state. And some of the other tools that are really quite cool to look at are things like the Helix, where you got this Helix here, and you've actually got radiuses in here. So if I look at this like this, I can go, right, how much coverage do I want here? If I increase this, I can put more loops in, and I can decrease them like this to make a spring. Also look at the profile of it. It sort of goes in and it goes out. So if I look at the radius here, you can see what's happening. If I start to move this down, I'm going to flatten this out, and in fact I could take this and drag it off and it would be a straight line. It would be exactly what I wanted. I could also taper the end, so I could grab the end and taper that end in if I wanted to. And this is just using a profile. So imagine this line, imagine it being this way round, you know, it follows what it's doing in here. So if I put a bit in the middle, you could shoot the middle out. I could take this and take this down here like this. You get all this control in here while it's in the initialized settings. And then of course I can still come into the coverage and I could change that as well, or I could increase it. I could also do the thickness here. I've got a thickness slider, so I could make one end thinner, one end thicker. Yeah. So very cool. These are just some of the initialized settings that you can get to before you make it a Polymesh 3D. So I've got the gear 3D here. This is another one that's quite an interesting one, where you've actually got the inside. There's actually working on lots of different elements here, and you can do quite a lot with this tool. It's really quite cool. Inside here you can see I can move some of these points down and flatten them out. I could even drag it off, go into this profile here, and I could change this to straighten that out. So you see I could even put a piece in the middle to push this piece out to make it like a bicycle kind of spoke type look. That, and then I could increase that radius in the middle if I wanted to, or the outer radius there. I could bring this in, could bring this and increase those amounts on here. And you can really play around with this. And inner sections there, so I've got an inner section, that's that piece inside here, but I could also go and adjust. You can see how that will move. And as I said before, if you get these points and you drag them out and release, they'll be deleted. I can also add new ones on by clicking in here. Now if you want this to be linear, in fact instead of a curve coming down there, what you can do is you can drag to the edge and then drag back on, and then it will be a straight linear. Now, this is getting quite advanced, but this just shows you, just on the initialized settings alone, you have all these options to be able to do stuff. And you could also save that profile out. We're not going to get into that, but you could save these profiles out if you use them all the time. So if I was happy with this, to take it to the next stage, because remember at the moment if I tried sculpting on this, I'm going to get that message, so I need to go and make that a Polymesh 3D, and then it would give me the ability to sculpt on it. So that is the initialized settings and turning it into a Polymesh 3D so that we can start to work with our geometry. So in the next lesson, what we're going to do now is we're just going to look at the move, scale and rotate tools here. And then we're going to move straight into having a look at some of the brushes, and then we're going to have a look at some of the strokes and the alphas and changing the material of this as well. So we've lots to cover in this basic course, but this is just the basics of ZBrush before you get in. Now if you're thinking, oh my god, there's so much to learn already, don't be worried, just take it one step at a time. That's why I'm giving you a single video for each step that I'm doing, so if you get stuck you can refer back to that particular lesson and just recap. Don't worry about it. It takes a little while to get used to, even to get used to the navigation, but you'll soon be flying with it. At the moment, what I'm doing is I'm actually using my pen to move it around. So I'm not clicking anything on the keyboard. I'm just got my pen on here. You can probably hear it. And I'm moving it around there. And if I press that Alt key and with the pen, I can drag it. And if I release that Alt key, I can zoom in and out. So that's the pen instead of the mouse. Okay. So I'll see you in the next lesson where we will look at some of these tools up here. And I'll also show you the old version of this, which was called the transpose line. So we'll look at that in the next lesson.